the biggest asset that you have in your business, in your life, social status, your whole experience of life. The biggest asset that you have available to you is your romantic partner. The person who you choose to take adventures with, seek things, goals, and achieve things with. That person is your biggest asset. But on the contrary, that person simultaneously is also your biggest liability. Now, the reason why I say this is because the biggest liability in business, life, social order, impact that you have is also your romantic partner. And that is because you never asked the question, a simple question. What if your relationship is secretly stopping you from scaling your company or earning the profits that you desire, living in the house of your dreams, driving the car of your dreams, buying the land, the property, having a social impact? What if everything that you desire is being secretly canceled out by a signal of interference destructively by a person on the opposite end of a spectrum that you're on? Think about this. Think about this. What if you're living life cluelessly, not even realizing that this is a possibility? I want you guys to understand this. The brain fog that you're experiencing in your brain, the inflammation that you're experiencing and feeling inside your body, even the increasingly uncomfortable volatility that you see in your bank account when you wake up in the morning. This is due to something. It's inside you, but you're looking at it outside you. And that's the person that you're choosing to love. The person that you literally are looking at in the mirror, which is yourself, and you're refusing to love that person. You've chosen to love on the outside without choosing to love yourself on the inside. So you've basically put this person on a pedestal and said, their happiness is my happiness. But that's not true. It's impossible. Their happiness cannot be your happiness. What you should be striving for, and let me say, what I chose to strive for, not what you should be striving for, choose whatever you want. What I chose to strive for was strength, was capacity to endure anything that life gives to me, and understand that I have the capability to surpass any challenges that life may throw at me. The issue was I didn't look for a person that had the same thing. So I want you to look at yourself as a visionary who wants to leave the biggest mark on the world that you possibly can. Yet the person outside of you, in relationship to you, is the person that's projecting their fears or their doubts or their insecurities onto you, and that's keeping you from fulfilling your own dreams and goals. How is it keeping you from fulfilling your own dreams and goals? It's influencing you. No one stops you from fulfilling your dreams. They only influence you to stop yourself. That's why it is imperative you understand how important it is for you to pick the right partner for you. Now, I don't believe in counseling in this regard. I think counseling is actually foolish. It's a bunch of people who think that they have superiority over you, think that they've gone through research enough, think that they've gone through enough life experiences through a book or maybe through a teaching protocol, but they never actually understood that all the universe is attempting to do is direct you to your destiny, your destination, and put you in position to win, always. Now, I've been in relationships. I've been married. I've been divorced. I've been in countless situations where I didn't look at myself and see myself as the culprit. as the reason behind what did I choose? Why did I choose them? What was I experiencing with them? Was I experiencing constructive interference where I was being built? Was I experiencing destructive interference where I was being torn down? What was I experiencing? And was I lying? I'm making excuses for this person. I'm making excuses for myself. I'm making excuses for the situation so I can stay in it. What was I doing? And once I realized that counseling, breath work, meditation, for me to become familiar with myself, all these different things were just pulling back the curtain and pulling back the shade. And it still seemed that I was not integrating both sides of my brain because the other side of my brain was in control of someone else. I'll explain how that works. Whenever you have a relationship of any kind, sexual relationship especially, romantic relationship especially, marriage, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, you have what's called a vesica. A vesica is a series of circles. Say this is a circle. I'll put M for male. You also have a second circle. The second circle, I'll put female. And then what happens is you have this new circle in the center. This new center right here is going to grow and expand based on your level of trust, your level of awareness, your level of vulnerability, and transparency with each other. That circle. That's the important one right there. Yes, sir. You have to be able to integrate both sides of your brain and stay neutral in the center line, because that means you're literally giving yourself away to someone else in hopes that they do the right thing with that section of your energy field. I'm going to show you what I believe is the future in all treatments of all relationships, because all relationship problems are interpersonal relationship problems. That means you have a problem with yourself. And when you have a problem with yourself in regards to the universe, what happens is it's going to mirror that based upon correspondence. So here's where we get into what's called the orgasmic power periodic table, and also the cycle of transformation. This is how we aim to fix your relationship with yourself, and therefore relationship with everything else on the outside of you. Partner, spouse, business, employees, if you're a CEO, pets, doesn't matter. You'll be able to fix what's going on in alignment with yourself, and therefore alkalize your body, your system, align your 7 chakras, and you'll watch as all your emotions begin to be processed automatically through you and expelled in waste material outside of you. This is what actually you're going to be able to uplift and upgrade your consciousness and your awareness. You see, what I'm saying is this cycle of transformation, what is it? It's a transformation that's actually chemical. It's spiritual, it's emotional, it's physical, and it's mental all at the same time. It's not where you're going to go lay on your back on the couch and talking to a shrink and answer these questions and live in your past and bring your past up to your future and say, this is my past, my mom did this, my dad did this, my siblings did that, and bring it back up into your future. All you have to do is understand that these things that were lodged inside of your fascia, inside of your tissues, were all part of the 7 mistaken goals that you were going towards in your life because of those things that you got lodged inside of your system. Now, what this cycle does, it integrates both sides of your brain, synchronizes you emotionally with your romantic partner, so you are both aligned to the same vision. Therefore, you are doing the cycle of transformation at the same time with each other. You simultaneously become your true, authentic self, constructively interfering with your partner and building yourselves into an infinite, divine, manifesting machine of self-discipline, self-reliance, and unconditional love. This is a guarantee. This is a 100% guarantee that what happens within this transformation, because what happens is you will do it with yourself first. And you won't be able to go through these processes of lies, collapsed emotions anymore, because your energy won't let you. No more masking your inferiority towards each other or using superiority towards each other to dominate the other. It won't happen. It's time that you're going to actually make your ultimate decision, which is your relationship status, your relationship in general. You're going to make it your best asset. So what I'm going to express right now is that everyone goes through the same 7 reasons as to why they have a broken spirit, a broken relationship, a broken self-image, a low bank account, a bad business, a bad body because you don't exercise, bad self-care regimen, bad systems in place, bad diet, whether you're eating awful food, whatever it may be, it is due to the 7 reasons based upon the 7 mistaken goals. I will write these 7 mistaken goals down for you. You will see them here. At the root, mistaken goal is going to be attention seeking. Very simple. You're seeking external attention from the outside world because you are not giving yourself attention that's needed for you to thrive and sustain a healthy relationship with yourself. Next up is a power struggle. This is also really, really simple. You're losing control of yourself because of the lack of attention that you've given to yourself. So all of a sudden, everything on the outside becomes a power struggle. How about at the 3rd solar plexus, mistaken goal is going to be revenge. I'm hurting, I'm feeling hurting, so I'm going to dish out that hurting to everything and everyone outside of me. How about at the heart, display of inadequacy? This is what is called learned helplessness. Learned helplessness is simple. You're basically telling yourself to check out of life because you cannot deal with life because you failed yourself in the amount of value and self-love that you have for yourself. So you're saying that you can't handle anything. Next up, competition versus community. This is easily comparison mode, where you're looking left and right of yourself. You're looking in terms of envy or jealousy. And basically, you have isolation and a scarcity mindset. Lastly, which is the most important, as you see, we're raising ourselves all the way up, all the way up. All right. Prior to that, actually was proving superiority. At the throat. Proving superiority. And that is just dominance, ego-driven expression. Then you have competition versus community, which, as we said, it's envy, it's jealousy, that's comparison, isolation mode. And the last one at the crown, you have approval seeking. You have not given yourself permission to be your true self because you're always in fear of disapproval from other people. You're playing too small. Now, think about this in terms of relationship. In terms of relationship, and I'll put 7 mistaken goals here so you guys can see this. 7 mistaken goals. You can catch this on my website as well. I have a whole section on 7 mistaken goals, so you'll be able to see this. What happens in the realm of this cycle of transformation? What happens? Well, I'm going to keep it really, really simple. You're going towards alignment, towards awareness, and towards reprogramming because you have to start to look at yourself as valuable, something that can stand the test of time, someone that can be loving to themselves. Because what's happening is you're giving yourself away to the wrong people without intention, without purpose. You're going in not understanding that sex is a sacred energy exchange. What happens in that sacred energy exchange is you develop something called emotional synchronization. Emotional synchronization. It is exactly how it sounds. You're synchronizing your emotions with the person that you decided to exchange energy with. I would really look at myself in the mirror and ask myself, what do I want to experience in my lifetime? Because you cannot keep going to synchronize your emotional place. You cannot keep on going to actually line yourself up in alignment with a person that's destructive, because that means it's in response to you or a person that's destructive. So let's start this off by, again, we'll explain it through each column. It's going to be very, very simple. The column first is going to be the chakras. At your root, you'll have your ankles, your knees, and your adrenals, so the caps on top of your kidneys. You could also say your gonads, which is your reproductive organs, ovaries for women, testes for men, which would also be at the sacral. The sacral is at the level of what's called the coccyx, which is the base of the spine. And what this means is at the root, at your adrenals, this is controlling your fight or flight responses, your ANS nervous system. You want to go towards parasympathetic nervous system activation, not sympathetic. What does that mean? Adrenals, adrenaline. You're going towards fight or flight. Sympathetic, that's fight or flight. Parasympathetic is also rest and digest. The blood returns back to the area of the viscera. The blood stays in this area here to be able to process, to be able to function, to be able to digest your food, to be able to build energy. What is happening is chemically. Chemically, you need a reset. Chemically, you need to have something that's going to assist you. The first step in our cycle of transformation is detoxification. And we use, at the area of detoxing, we use a simple herbal formula blend. Now, we have an herbal formula blend that is awaken and replenish based on the circadian suprachiasmatic nucleus. We use a circadian clock to be able to formulate our herbal formulas. Said it has a time release for you. Overnight, replenish overnight, and you're going to activate through awakening yourself during the day. That's detoxification. That is literally clearing your toxic load. You must clear the toxic load out. You must balance your hormones and the organs and the glands associated with each and every one of those hormones that are excreted. You must be able to clear this out and balance. Next up, you're going to have regulation. You will have breath work. You will have rhythm because you need to regain stabilization of your nervous system. You have got to regain coherence. Okay, you got to regain coherence. And this is not only through regulation, because we're going to keep going. All right, but this is the next step. After that, you have what's called interoception. Interoception is feeling your body's signals. Most people are blind to their own signals in their own body, and you need to be aware and connected to yourself in order to feel and increase your awareness of sensations and of emotions, and let them emotions pass through you. Don't let them get stuck and lodge into your body. Don't say it's not okay for you to express. I grew up in a household, thankfully my mother and my father, when he was in my household, allowed me to express myself freely, even with them. And I got to express myself. I didn't really get, throw tantrums and things like that because I didn't have any pent up energy. I was able to express myself when I was allowed to. I was not taught to withhold anything. I was taught to be able to release that, because if you don't release that, you're going to have an explosion. Up next through that is metacognition. This term is basically thinking about what you've been thinking about. You're observing and you're interpreting your own thoughts so that you can catch these patterns before they become reactions. This is primary for relationships. It's primary for your spouse, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, wife, whatever it is that you are dealing with. It is primary in your relationships for you to understand that you need to go through and think about what you've been thinking about them and thinking about yourself. Then you have reprogramming at the last, which gets to a new identity. Install new beliefs about yourself and about that person. This is affirmations. This is visualizations. This is behavioral repetition, because now you're going to be taking action on your affirmations. That's the cycle. The cycle works. With that cycle, you'll be able to synchronize brand new emotions with the person that you say that you love. It needs to be you first. You're your number one fan first. You're your partner's number two fan. They're their number one fan. Do not ever think that this person is bigger than you, because they're not. Because if they're bigger than you, you make yourself small and inferior. And if you're not here, they still here. What did that do for you? Not a damn thing. You're supposed to bring 100% into your relationship. And you bring 100% with their 100%, you make 200%. It's not you cut yourself off, you have 50. They cut themselves off, they have 50. That's not how it works. That's destructive interference. So this is the model that you're going to go through the cycle. Okay? Now, at each chakra, from the crown down to the throat, like we said, at the adrenals, at the root, that's the endocrine gland. The herbs that are going to be associated with are going to be shilajit and eleuthero. Now, shilajit is fulvic acid, but it works pretty much for every one of the chakras. Eleuthero is also, it works based on calming the nervous system down to help you to regain balance and restoration. The cell salts that you're going to use, because we use 12 mineral cell salts in our formulas, also in our cleansing process. You need to have iron, you need to have magnesium, you need to have calcium fluoride. These things are imperative for you to be able to have generation of energy, because at this root, this is the universal law of generation and law of attraction, which you're creating in the first place. Collapsed emotion is going to be fear and survival and stress. This is the collapsed emotion, which is, again, if you're in stress mode, you make bad choices. This is why you make bad choices in partnership. Okay? At the sacral, up next, endocrine gland, the gonads. This is where you're going to have ovaries and testes. This is where you're going to look at the plant compounds, the herbs, shatavari, which is really, really good for this area, this system. Tangat Ali, which is traditionally in TCM, this is based on, men with erectile dysfunction, women with low libido, and maca root, not matcha root, maca root, M-A-C-A. Okay? You're going to use these herbs to cleanse this area here. And the cell salts associated will put copper, which is based on energy, again, flow. You need copper to continue to be in the flow, stay grounded. And magnesium. Magnesium is also associated with the heart and also associated with the crown and third eye. For this area, we're going to put it here for the passing through of the digestive systems and also cleansing and creating the flow. This is guilt, sexual distortion. That's the collapsed emotion. Guilt, sexual distortion. If you're experiencing guilt, if you're experiencing sexual distortion, you're going to start to see yourself in that power struggle energy. This is where you're going to begin to cleanse yourself. So you guys can snapshot this one. I'm reading it out loud, but you guys can still snapshot this. At the solar plexus, this is going to be the pancreas. You'll have the liver, you have the gut. This is where, and the stomach, this is also the system of digestion. This is where these plant compounds, wormwood is really good, relaxes your digestive system so that you can pass these things through, cleanse the parasitic influences, because parasites are in any carnivore diet person, ketogenic diet person, anyone that is experiencing elements of cancer, guarantee you probably have some parasitic influence. Burdock root that can cleanse the liver. The liver is also at this area, the solar plexus here. Your yellow dock, ginger, which is primarily great for your stomach. Turmeric. Cell salt is going to be iron, shilajit, and calcium sulfate. Iron, shilajit, calcium sulfate. Now there's going to be more, but this is the three that I decided were really easiest for people to go get. You can find all these on Amazon. You can order some shilajit powder, some calcium sulfate. I use a company called Jackson's, which is plant-based mineral cell salts. They're really, really good. You can find every one of them. You can find all 12 in one as well. This is the class emotion of shame, power, and collapse. Now, I guarantee you most relationships struggle at this area here because most people don't have the same diets. One person's plant-based, one person's carnivore, one person's plant-based, one person's ketogenic or whatever or something. No, you probably want to be the same, because you'll be experiencing the elements of revenge in your own relationship. Let's go up next, the heart. At the heart, you have the thymus gland. This is the T cells that send out the troops to go kill the pathogens, the invaders that invade your body. This is helping you clean out based upon your immune system. You'll use red clover, cat's claw, and moringa, which is really, really good. Really, really good to clear out congestion and mucus. Copper, iron, potassium, and sulfate are the cell salts of this area. And also you can put magnesium to this area too, because this is what helps you to relax your heart valves to get blood to pass through. This is grief, heart closure. You're experiencing grief, you're experiencing heart closure. You gotta let these emotions pass through you guys. You can't hold these emotions on. If you keep holding these emotions on, you're gonna keep expressing these things out. The other person can't handle all of that. So just learn that you got to keep going through the cycle to understand and feel, or you keep on displaying inadequacy. That's the clingy. That's the person that can't do anything for themselves. You got to be self-reliant in terms of relationship. You got to. At the throat, the thyroid, parathyroid. You have Irish moss, 92 herbs, 92 elements, minerals, nettle leaf, mullein, hyssop, which is really, really powerful. Hyssop is great to cleanse the vagus nerve. Elderberry. Cell salts would be iodine, copper, sodium chloride, potassium chloride. This is the element of suppressed truth. That's what I mean by proven superiority. You can't listen to somebody. You're always over talking to someone. You got too much pride in the area. That's the difficulty in communication with relationships. It comes right here at this throat area. Third eye, endocrine gland, pituitary gland. Ginkgo biloba, saffron. Saffron is exceptional. It's a pretty pricey. It's like $100 or $50 per 2 ounces. It's $25 an ounce. It's a little pricey, but it works. Okay. Beetroot, shilajit, ashwagandha. Cell salts would be gold, iron phosphate, potassium phosphate, silica. Gold is going to be in the expression of nanoparticles. You can get colloidals, and you can get gold and even silver. Silver would be good at this area too. This is where you're experiencing collapse, emotion of confusion and delusion. You're confused and you're delusional based on what you think is happening in the world around you. So your misperceptions are overtaking how you're thinking about things. This is your comparison versus community. You can't even trust your partner. You're in competition with your own partnership. You're supposed to be teammates, not in competition with each other. Lastly, you're going to be at the crown. The crown is going to be the pineal gland, or interchangeable. Pineal, pituitary, third eye, or crown. For brown-skinned people who are melaninated people, the pineal is going to be the primary for you because this is what regulates melatonin and serotonin combined, which creates melanin. This is what you got, the brown-skinned. Plant compounds, the herbs, shilajit, mugwort, siniswichi, ashwagandha. These are all primary elements to help you to think better overnight. These would be in our replenish overnight formula. We have about 40 plus herbs that we place inside of our formulas, but it's all based on time release. So cell salts, gold, palladium, even platinum and silver at this moment too, silica, potassium phosphate, and again, magnesium. This is where you have separation from the source. You're living in disconnection even though everything's always connected. And this is why the mistaken goal is approval seeking. You can't seek approval from your partnership. You're supposed to be able to have approval from yourself to be yourself at every moment, time, point, and space. So what you're going to look at from this is that these are the simple things that you're going to go do in order to cleanse yourself and clear the cycle and find the right partnership. Create the right partner because you are the right partner for your right partner. There's environmental inputs that you're going to go out. You're going to see that your nutrition, processed food, awful. Circadian rhythms are always working every 2 hours to transfer each energy to each important gland. So if you don't live by your circadian clock, if you're working out at midnight, if you're going to the club at 1 o'clock in the morning, which is when you should be detoxifying your liver naturally, you're going to start to see that you're going to have an imbalance. And all of a sudden, the thought processes that are inside your head are making you make these bad choices. Those are environmental inputs, EMFs, internet everywhere, blue lights, looking at your cell phone all the time. Social environment. What rooms are you going into? Those are environmental inputs, okay? Your relationships have good environmental inputs. And then your biological system, which is made from your breath, your fascia, your hormones, your organs, your nervous system. That's what orgasmic power is. Orgasmic power is the synchronization of all of those things, but it's in balance. It's in coherence. You have coherence across the board. Now, here is where you're going to learn that as far as the chakras, what's the crown for? Master gland, system integration. Think about the third eye, your perceptions, your beliefs. You do have biology attached to your beliefs, your intuition and your vision for yourself. It needs to match in harmony. You should be doing a value assessment damn near every week. Value assessment. They may change, but you should keep them aligned with your partnership or you will begin to grow apart. Your throat, where you have your expression, your metabolism, okay, your communication. Your heart, here's your connection to other people. Your circulation, your compassion for others as well. Compassion is celebrating the passion for your creation. That's what compassion is, it's not sympathy. It's a different thing. Compassion is celebrating the passion for your creation and everyone else's creation. Okay, solar plexus. You have at the pancreas, again, your willpower to move, your digestion, your boundaries, to uphold your boundaries. You need to uphold your boundaries in relationship. You need to. Okay, sacral, the gonads, creativity, your pleasure, your flow. Allow this energy to pass through you, to be creative, to express yourself. At the root, survival, safety, grounding. Here's the most detrimental, especially for women, because this is what causes you to test your men. This is what causes you to run away from challenges, to run away from pressures, societal pressures, and then you go into these processes of shrinking, and then you start to go look and see. You go buy bags, you go buy the car, you go get the things that you thought were going to give you a sense of worth and value, but they're not. The designer clothes don't do shit. Design your own clothes. You're a designer. There. Doesn't matter about the stuff attached to the outside. Live in the inside out first. And this is how you're reprogramming the system. So you'll have new programs, your new identity. At the root, you'll be grounded. You'll be secure. You'll repeat the behavior. This will dissolve seeking attention. At the sacral, you will trust life and move with conscious choice. You will choose what you're going to do, what you're going to embark on. At the plexus, you will act from purpose and not from reaction. This is imperative in relationship. Act from purpose and the goal of harmony, not from reaction to harm someone else. At the heart, you're enough and worthy of connection with other people because you love yourself and you value yourself. At the throat, you will speak with clarity without needing to prove anything to anyone and lie. At the third eye, you will build with other people, with is your partner, not compete with your partner, because there is enough for everyone, including both of you. At the crown, you will stand in your truth regardless of approval of other people. That is what's going to happen based upon the orgasmic power model that we have here. What I want you guys to do is look at yourselves and look at your spouse and look at your partnership and ask yourself, is it limiting? Is it raising the ceiling of the floor? Have the honest conversation with your partnership. Have the honest conversation with yourself. Become the person first. Be the person first. Commit to yourself first. And then, if it's not in alignment with you, go find something that's in alignment with you. You only live one time. You're not supposed to be imprisoned or be in jail. You might actually have picked wrong from the start. And so you should fix that. You should change that. You should free yourself from that and allow yourself to detach from that. Don't be selfish in terms of you own someone. You don't own anything in this world. You own nothing. You're going to leave here with nothing. Your house won't come with you. Your kids, your dog, your car won't come with you. Your money won't come with you. It all stays here. So realize that you should be focused on the best experience of life and the best experience that you can give to yourself. Be honest. If the person across from you is not the person that you need to go through life with, you may be hindering them from being the best expression of themselves and maybe doing it to you too. So what you should do is love yourself enough and love them enough to have no conditions. And sometimes you have to let go to grow. Hope this video helped you guys. Like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I'll see y'all later. Peace.